Mr. Geertman, you are Director Innovation and Portfolio at KPN Consulting.
That's correct.
And it appears that you believe that KPN can have a crucial role in the use of blockchain in the Netherlands.
Yes.
Can you please elaborate on this?
Of course. Yeah, I think that everybody acknowledges that the banking industry is in that position right now. But I think that KPN, as a large infrastructure provider in the Netherlands, has a similar role to play in the coming years. So KPN already caters to vertical industries like healthcare or government, or maybe the critical infrastructure from the Ministry of Defense, etc., where data integrity and security and immutable ledgers can play a big role. Okay. And if we would be able to support that from the infrastructure, out of our infrastructure, then we can accelerate the adoption of blockchain in the Netherlands.
Okay, but in the Netherlands we say niet lullen maar poetsen.
Yes.
So are you poetsen already? Are you doing something already? Are you doing pilots and everything?
Yeah, we have the ambition to have 6 pilots by the end of this year. We are close to have 2, to get into production with 2 already. So there's one of them, and it's also a case here. It's the Inspectie Leefomgeving en Transport. Mm-hmm. They are responsible for the transportation of hazardous materials throughout the Netherlands.
Yes.
And they work together with other countries as well. And these parties, there's lots of parties involved with moving the hazardous materials. And you have the guy that's wanting to get rid of it. You have the transporters. You have the guys that are taking it and dispose of it in a let's say reliable way. And you can put that in a public ledger where everybody can see who is responsible for what and which transactions have taken place.
Yeah. And what's KPN's role in this? Did you build the blockchain for this?
No, it's a partner of us. It's Timeless that built the blockchain. They are based on BigchainDB, let's say infrastructure. Mm-hmm. But in this solution, you don't necessarily want to have this in the public cloud, right? So KPN has a virtual private cloud where you can run these applications, and you also have a legacy infrastructure where you want to integrate with. So we will connect these type of solutions, for example, to PKA government. So that's the public key infrastructure that we run for the government. So there are lots of things that have to take place in the back end to make these solutions work in real life.
Yeah, but to my knowledge, blockchain, the promise of blockchain, or one of the promises of blockchain, is that it will make those legacy systems obsolete. Yeah,
but I think that then we're going a bit quickly. So in the long term, that might be the case for a number of them. In the short term, and then I mean in the next 5 to 10 years, they will be augmenting the legacy systems. So that's also the vision that IBM has. So we're in good company there. They will augment the legacy systems where they will certain transactions will be offloaded to the ledger, the transactions that are really critical to have in an immutable way and transparently for everybody. But they will coexist for the foreseeable future, absolutely.
Okay, and there are a lot of people from the government here, or a lot of few. Mm-hmm. Are there any legislative hurdles right now which you are running into with this project?
Well, we haven't run into them yet. I think that it might be in the cryptocurrency world that might be a little bit more difficult, but I'm sure that we will run into them at some point in time, because if you get into questions about, okay, what's the legality of certain kind of transactions that are put on the blockchain and when they get used in court, I think that nobody has experienced that yet, right? So we all are a little bit insecure about how the government will handle that, how the court system will handle that, etc. What the jurisprudence will be.
Yeah.
Jurisprudence? No, that's not the word, I think, in English. But.
I spoke to Mark Buijsek earlier. He's from ING, and he did a pilot with trade finance. And he said that the funny thing was, so they did this trade finance pilot, which was very successful. Mm-hmm. However, one of the advantages is, of course, that it's quicker, maybe more transparent and everything. But he had to fill out all the forms which the blockchain should make obsolete. Mm-hmm. But because we have this quite old-fashioned, or maybe not old-fashioned, but the government is quite behind this innovation. Yeah. But you haven't seen this with your pilot?
Yeah, I've seen examples where the blockchain actually increased the amount of registration that has had to be done. But then at the same time, that doesn't say that there isn't value in that, right? So if you have a kind of a building project where you have all kinds of different providers and people that do parts of the work, then a ledger where you can make that transparent for everybody is a big plus, and where the let's say the people that have done the work get actually paid the moment that there is sign off, etc. But still, there's a little bit more administration that to be done, right? So it could be both, I guess.
Last question: how can KPN make money with this?
Yeah, one area that we haven't mentioned is the Internet of Things, and that's one of the things that KPN is putting a lot of investment and effort in. So we have the first Internet of Things network in the Netherlands. And the Internet of Things is one of the areas where, if you want to do that in a proper way, trustworthy with high fidelity and security, blockchain will be able to provide that in IoT. So if we are able to use blockchain in IoT in a good way, then our Internet of Things and the communication that's needed for that will get a boost as well. And it also works the other way around, because
quite indirect, right?
It is a little bit indirect. I think we also have, I mean, if there is one company that understands transactions, then it's also KPN. It's the banks, but we have billions of transactions every year as well, right? So you could also look into it in that area as well. I think there's multiple business models for KPN to make money with the next couple of years.
Okay, Mr. Geertman, thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome.